There are a lot of email softwares on the internet to choose from, and in the last 8 years of studying email marketing and doing it as a service, I've tried probably close to all of them. But there's one in particular that stands out in terms of ease of use, features available, affordable price, and high deliverability, and that's Kit, formerly ConvertKit. So in this video, I'm going to show you all the core features, the main features you need to know to get started with Kit, and then you could hit the ground running. So let's start with one of the most obvious basics, which is just actually uploading some kind of list into Kit so that you could eventually email them. So go up to the top left, click Grow, then click Subscribers. Next, if you scroll down a little bit and click Add Subscribers, now from here you can add one person at a time, or you can import a CSV or some other provider. If you're migrating from some other service, you'd use this third button. For most people, you're just going to import a CSV file. If you've got a list somewhere, you want to convert that to a CSV and then import it right here. Choose which file you want to upload from your computer, and then it's going to ask you to match certain elements from the CSV to fields inside of ConvertKit. All that's really important is the name, the email, maybe the phone number if you're going to use that somewhere else, and then obviously their email address. So make sure that those particular fields are matched up, the Kit field and the sample data. And then when you've selected the fields you want to import, just hit next. Now on this next screen is going to ask you if you want to add a tag to these people. It's a pretty good idea to do that if you're importing them from, let's say, MailChimp, for example, or some other CRM that you're using. You want to just tag them just so you know where these people came from. So you can add them to tags here. You can also add them to forms. We haven't made any forms yet at this point. You also haven't made any sequences, but you could also add them to that. Let's say you had a welcome sequence, for example. You could import this new list and then make sure that they see your welcome sequence. So name your tag and then just go ahead and start import. And then once you have that done, it'll take a few minutes, but your list is now imported. They're ready to start receiving emails, but there's one more important thing you want to do before you actually start sending emails, and that is to attach a custom sender domain to your Kit account. You don't want to be sending emails from like a regular Gmail account or a Yahoo account. I don't even know if they let you do that anymore. You definitely want to be sending it from a branded account, preferably like your name at yourbusiness.com. And so let me just show you how to do that really quickly. If you go up into the top right, select a drop down, go to settings, and then over on the left side, you want to select email. Now, obviously, I already have my sender domain attached to my Kit account, but once you have that added, it's highly recommended that you also verify this sender domain. So if you scroll down a little bit, it'll give you some information about that. Kit actually recommends you do it if you have more than 3,000 subscribers. I'm going to recommend you do it no matter how many subscribers you have, but this will improve your email deliverability significantly because you'll be able to actually prove that this is your email sender domain. So in order to verify your sending domain, you're going to need access to wherever your domain name is hosted. That might be GoDaddy, it might be Namecheap or something similar. You're going to need access to that so you can mess around with the DNS settings. So once you're ready, click this Setup Verified Sending Domain. Enter the root of your domain name. In this case, mine is just my name, austinmarland.com. I'm going to hit next, and then it's going to have you make 3 records inside of your DNS settings. So the first record is a CNAME record. You're going to copy this name box, just copy that, go to your DNS settings. In my case, it's GoDaddy. I'm going to click Add a Record. I'm going to select CNAME. I'm going to paste the name that I just copied. Then I'm going to go back to Kit. I'm going to copy the second value, and then back on GoDaddy, I'm going to paste that into the value. I'm going to leave the TTL as default, and then I'm going to hit Save. In this case, I've already set this up, so I'm not going to hit save again, but this is how you do it. And then you're going to repeat the process for the next CNAME value, the next CNAME record, and then you're going to make a third record. This one's going to be a text record for your DMARC. You're going to repeat the process again, and then once that's in place, you will hit the validate button. And once you have your sender domain actually verified, you'll have this nice little green check mark next to your root domain. Now, when you send emails, you're going to get a much higher deliverability. Now, if you don't even have a custom sender domain at all, I recommend you watch another video of mine where I show you the exact process to set this up using Google Workspace. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. I show you all the steps you need to go through. Google Workspace is pretty cheap. It's like $9 a month or something like that, but it allows you to have a custom inbox, sort of like a Gmail account, but with your name at yourbusiness.com. I show you how to set that fully up and get it so it has the highest deliverability possible. And then you could add that domain to your Kit account and your emails will start landing in people's main inboxes. So go watch that video. The link's up top. Just really quick, if you like guides like this, you find this type of stuff useful, I'm constantly making marketing videos showing how business owners can increase the number of sales that they have, improve their email marketing, and attract the right types of customers and leads. So please hit subscribe if you find this useful. Thank you very much. Okay, so we now have a list of people inside of our kit that we can send emails to. We also now have a custom email domain to send emails from. Let's talk about actually sending emails. So the first thing I recommend you do is start up here in the send section, click this drop down and go over to email templates. Now from this screen, you can create a brand new email template. By default, Kit probably has a few different templates already in place here. You can actually click and open those and modify them. The point of the templates is so that when you go to actually send emails, you can have certain templates already pre-saved. Maybe some of them have certain fonts or certain formatting that you like, and you can just already have those preset, ready to go anytime you send a broadcast. But if you don't have those set up yet, you can go over here to New Template and just open up their template builder. Now, personally, for me, when I'm sending emails, I try to just keep mine as plain text as possible, no fancy formatting, no images. That's just how I do email marketing. But you can do it however you want. You can go through here, select any template you want. I'm going to go back to the templates, and I'm going to show you one more thing inside of templates. I'm going to open this plain text one. And by default, by law, every email broadcasting software has to have some kind of opt-out message, but there's no regulations on how large that font has to be. So by default, Kit will make the font of the opt-out message pretty large. And so what I like to do is shrink it down. And so what you can do is you can modify this. You can change the sentence. In my case, I wrote, hate my emails, click to unsubscribe. And so that information is here. You can modify the text size. And then everything within inside of these brackets is just the default content that you're sending. So in my case, I have the font set to 20 because I like the font kind of large in my emails. You can set that all up right here. And then you're basically ready to start sending emails. So let's go back to the send tab and then click broadcast. Now in this account, I have no broadcast set up. So let's do one right now. Click on the right, new broadcast. We're going to select one of the templates that we just made. And now you've got this nice little email builder that you could work with. You can put a subject line up here. If you click this little flask, it'll actually allow you to A/B test different subject lines, which is kind of useful sometimes. If you're torn between two different subject lines, you want to see which one gets better open rates. And then in this box, obviously, you can put the body of the email, format it however you like. You've got all the typical options you'd expect to see, like, different types of bold and italics, underline. You can change the formatting around, but you can also enter personalizations. Like if you click this @ sign, you can reference people's first name, subscriber first name. So you could open the email with their name. You could also do some really interesting conditional stuff using this personalization. For example, if you open this up and you go down to subscriber tags conditional, you can actually have different opening messages depending on what kind of tags your subscriber has. And so let's say you had a tag called ebook. Replace these words in the quotes with whatever your tag is. In this case, it would be ebook. And then whatever this message is will only be seen by people who have downloaded the ebook and in this case got tagged with the tag ebook. And then everybody else will see this message here. And so this allows you a lot of flexibility with segmentation. Maybe certain people inside of your list have downloaded a certain lead magnet that you have, or they've gone through a certain sequence that you have. You can give them a slightly different message inside of the email. And it could just be like a paragraph, or it could be an entirely different email based on their tag. So that's something you can play around with. The other features that are worth pointing out here, inside of this body box that we're typing here, if you click the little plus sign over on the left side, you can add all different types of formatting like you'd expect, but you can also add buttons. You can add products. Kit allows you to actually host products on their site. That's not something I'm going to cover in this particular video, but you can link people using that. You can obviously also put images, files, videos, all kinds of stuff. A countdown timer, for example. You can embed videos or posts from X, for example. You can even embed HTML. So all kinds of stuff that you can actually embed into the email. When you're ready to send your email, hit continue, and let me show you some other cool features. So when you hit continue, it's going to give you two options. You have the option to send the email, obviously, but you also have the option to publish it to the web, because Kit allows you to create blogs, essentially. This is not a feature that I ever personally use, but it's cool to have that option. So I'm just going to select send email. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, this is where things can get kind of interesting with Kit. You can see inside this Kit account, I have 82,000 subscribers. These are subscribers that were accumulated over years. So let's say 5 years of people just signing up for different things, different lead magnets, different webinars, different offers. And what happens over time is a lot of these people just get cold or are using fake accounts, fake email accounts to sign up for stuff. Or they'll use like a secondary email account and they will never check it and they won't ever open emails. So the cool thing about Kit is one basic type of segmentation you can do with your emails is that as you start accumulating cold subscribers, in other words, people that aren't opening your emails very often, you can actually specifically specify not to include those people in your broadcast. So if you go to the filters, you select all subscribers, you click this drop down, and you can actually click cold subscribers and then add filter. Right now, this is set to all. I want to set it to none, so we're excluding the cold subscribers. So rather than pruning this list and getting rid of 32,000 people who may or may not actually be cold, they just don't check their emails very often, I can just choose to send emails to the warmer people by excluding the cold people. I hope that makes sense. So in this case, according to Kit, I have 50,001 warm subscribers that this email is going to be sent to. And so my open rates for this particular email are going to be much higher. The engagement rates are going to be much higher. The deliverability is going to be much higher because I chose to exclude the cold people. So that's just a very basic type of segmentation you can do. You can obviously do stuff like click subscribe to and then select forms or tags or people that have signed up for certain sequences. You can send emails to just those people. You have all types of options. You can also select people based on a country or a region or distance from a city or the date that they subscribed, for example. So you have all kinds of flexible segmentation options for who is actually going to be able to see these emails, which is really great. And then obviously if you go a little bit farther down on the screen, you have the option to schedule broadcasts. And I very often do this with my emails. I'll sit down, I'll write a batch of emails and I'll just schedule them out over several weeks. So it's very nice to be able to have that. So now how do you get new people into your email list without having to manually import them? Well, the way you do that is you create some kind of form or some kind of landing page. And Kit allows you to make very simple, very basic ones directly in the platform. So just go up into the top left, click grow, and then go down to landing pages and forms. And I'm going to show you how to set up a form with a double opt-in so that people can get some kind of free resource from you, like let's say an ebook. And the double opt-in serves as a way to where people have to confirm their email address in order to get the thing that you're giving away. And the double opt-in will also boost your deliverability if you set that up. So on the landing pages and forms page, click create new. You have the option of actually creating a page itself. The landing page builder is a little bit basic, but it serves really well if you need something in a pinch. Or you can just actually create the form itself, and then you can take the form and you can embed it into some other landing page builder that you have, which is what I most commonly use. So I'm going to click form, and then you can choose how the form looks. Is it inline? Is it modal? Is it a slide in? Or is it a sticky bar? I usually use inline personally, but that's up to you. And then they give you a bunch of templates to work with. I never use any of these personally. I always just go with Claire. I never use any of the other ones, but you've got flexibility. You can choose whatever you want. So I'm going to go choose Claire. Now, once you open the Claire form, you can see there's just an email address button. There's no name. There's no phone number or any other information. So in order to add those things, you're going to hit the plus sign here. Over here on the right side, select first name or last name or phone number or whatever you want to add. And I'm going to make it a required field. You can change the colors. You can change the font, the border size, etc. And then I'm just going to click this and drag it around so first name appears before email. I'm also going to add a phone number box. So I'm going to add another box, go down to phone number, make it required, and then boom, I've got a phone number box. I can move this up and down wherever I want. And now my form requires first name, email, address, and phone number. Now before I embed this anywhere, let me set it up so it has a double opt-in. So I'm going to go to settings. You can change the message that appears after they opt in here. You can change the domain name. This is if you created a special page. You can change that here. I'm not going to mess with that. The incentive button allows you to actually edit the very first email that they see, the double opt-in email right here. So if you want to edit that, you can. I'm just going to leave it as the default. Now, some people will choose to auto-confirm new subscribers. The problem with auto-confirming is it doesn't require them to double opt-in. So they could just put a fake email address and then you send them your free thing. They're not going to get it because there's a fake email address, but now you have a fake email address inside of your kit that you're sending broadcasts to, which is going to lower your deliverability. So I do not recommend you actually do this. Kit doesn't recommend it either. And then this box down here is where you'd actually put the file for whatever you're giving away. And in my case, it might be a Google Doc if I'm giving away an ebook or some kind of document or something. You could also put an actual file download if it's like a PDF or something. But you paste that there and then just hit save. Now, if you want to name your form, go up here into the top left, click this pencil icon and just rename it. In my case, I'm just going to call it test form. If you want to embed it, go over on the right side, click embed, and you have a lot of different options here. You can just copy the JavaScript. A lot of websites require you to use the HTML. You can copy the HTML, paste it somewhere on your page. But you can also just share the form. You can share the link to the form, which will just give people a page with nothing on it but the form, which is useful. And that's really all the important stuff you need to know in order to create forms and landing pages to get people into your email list. Let's talk about one more important feature with Kit, which makes it really nice to use for sending emails. Go back up to the send button at the top and click sequences. The purpose of a sequence is that so anybody that joins your list, if they are added to the sequence, they see the same series of emails no matter what. Unlike a broadcast, which is like a one-off email. So let's just create a quick sequence really quick so you can see what it looks like. Select your text template. You've got a subject line, you've got all the formatting stuff, the body of the email. But the key difference is over here, you can add another email. You can add a series of emails. It could be as long as you want. You can just keep adding them, and you can change when these individual emails trigger. So you can set the first one to go out, for example, immediately. So if I change this down arrow to 0, this first email is going to send as soon as someone joins the sequence. And then I can make it so the second email in the sequence, let's say it triggers after 3 days. And then if I wanted, I could add a third email, and I could make this one trigger 8 days later, for example. You can even change it to hours if you wanted. So this is very useful. Perfect example of this is welcome sequences. A new subscriber joins through one of your forms. You can connect the form to your sequence using visual automations up here in the top, which I'll show you really quick in a minute. But then they see that series of emails in that sequence, as well as your regular broadcast. So let me just show you how to do that inside Visual Automations. Click Automate, open Visual Automations. I'm going to create a new automation. In this case, I'm going to start from scratch, but they have tons of templates you can choose from. I can name the automation up here, whatever I want, and then I'm just going to hit Start Building. Now, in this case, if we're setting up a welcome sequence, we want it to trigger as soon as somebody joins a form. So you're going to select Joins a Form, then you're going to select whatever form you're using from the dropdown, and then click Add Event. In this case, I'm going to just select any form, and then I'm going to hit the plus sign, and I'm going to add email sequence. And then you just select that email sequence that you made. Now, anybody that joins your list is going to see that welcome sequence, and they're going to see that same series of emails. Other than that, those are the basic core features that make Kit the best email software on the internet, in my opinion. It's just great. It's very easy to use. It's cheap. It's got high deliverability. It's just all around a very great software for sending emails and managing your email list. Now, if you're somebody that has an email list and you're looking to improve it, I actually have a video called How to Do Email Marketing, where I reveal all of the secrets that I've learned in the 8+ years that I've been studying email marketing. I think you're going to find it extremely useful. It'll definitely level up your game and make you a lot more money from email marketing. So check that out. That should be above. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. See you next time.